Hey, Tej here. Today we're taking a look at technical analysis for Bitcoin. I'll cover wave analysis with the Elliott Wave theory and provide multiple scenarios price may take and explain why I prefer one counter over another. Let's take a look at the different possibilities. Starting on 4-hour time frame and looking at the count starting from these lows of 18th of June, basically around the 17.6k. Since then we have had a multitude of counts, some of them getting invalid, some of them are getting still played on, and this is one of them still that we are tracking. In this one, we have had a three-way move here into an A wave. Now, how we are going to get to the A wave does not really matter. There's so many ways you can interpret this here, a WXY, or however you want to be placing it. The point is that we have a three-way structure starting from these lows, ending up at these highs. This would create us that wave A here, and then we would be looking for wave B. Now, wave B, the maximum retracement it could go to is 14.1k around here. If the price goes below that, then we can't consider this anymore because again the retracement is too much for that wave B. Now at the moment for this B wave, the most likely scenario is that we had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a 5-way structure into wave A. That means that it's going to be a zigzag pattern, and we are expecting a 3-way pullback here into that wave B. Again, we have to accept that this is a 3-way structure at this point, and then we would be looking for another multi-way structure for that wave C over here. For this one, if we are zooming into 1-hour time frame, we would be looking at this as a 3-way structure. Now, the only 3-way structure that fits into multi-way category is a diagonal. In this scenario, I've labeled this as a contracting diagonal. It is also possible that we have not even reached the third wave yet. Now, why do I think that? Is just because, again, if we're looking at the time scenario here, comparing this wave 1 to the next ones, after, let's see, pivoting again from here, we don't want to see it going past the 1-to-1 extension in time, comparing this length of time here to the length of time from here, again pivoted from that way too. So you can see the circles in here, how I've pulled it. So 1-to-1 in time, 27th of September would be the last area we want to see the wave 3 formed. If we have not created a new low beyond this, at that point, at latest, we can call the wave 3 here and pull the lower trend line like so. It is very small sloping structure here if that would be the case, but again, it is possible. Now, if that would be the case, we would be looking to create some kind of channel here, and again, as long as we don't break the upper channel line here, we are creating some kind of a contracting diagonal, because again, wave 3 here would be smaller than wave 1, so this whole structure would need to be contracting in order to have that right look. And again, we would be pivoting just by using these trend lines over here, because again, we can't really go through these, or we have to be lining the trend lines well with the current wave structure peaks or the price peaks. Hopefully that makes any sense. But yeah, we have to be keeping track on this with the time element and with the price element. Now, if wave 2 was here, indeed, wave 3 is possible here, but again, it is very short. So it does make sense that we would have it most likely bottoming out tomorrow, creating some kind of structure like this. Then we could have, or even taking out this high first and then getting that drop. Then we could have a better looking contracting diagonal here overall. And then we would have that wave 4 and wave 5 later on the next week. But of course, that is just one scenario. The next scenario I wanted to present is still this one, in which we would have the A wave in here. Now, I've seen so many people calling out that this is not right, but again, we have hit the 0.61 extension of the A wave here, pivoted from that wave B. Wave B is formed with this expanded flat structure, and this is the only way we can actually establish the scenario where we have a 5-way structure in here, which is the best looking, and the only structure where we can actually fit that C wave. Again, we can't have this as an A wave, we can't have this as a wave 1 because we have taken out the lows here. So that is the only way we can have it as a C wave. End of something. Also, what would support this whole idea over anything else at the moment is the RSI. We have created a new high here on RSI. This would suggest that this would be no longer part of anything here. So, or anything beyond this is not a part of this structure. So anything starting from here would be a separate structure, which would make sense that we would be looking for that B wave. Now, in here, we don't have the restriction of having to have this as a diagonal, basically. We can accept that, okay, we have a three-way structure here, then we would have three-way structure here. We can have multitude of different things here with these three-way structures combined together. It does not really matter because we are, again, looking for a three-way structure into B. B is never a impulsive wave structure or any motive wave structure. So that's why we don't have any restrictions here. And unfortunately, at that point, again, we don't have that guideline either, which makes predicting this count structure way harder. Now, the reason why I've labeled this as a microstructure and not a sub-minuette structure is just because, again, the wave length here, it would be so small in comparison to this wave A. If we were to put wave B here, where we would expect wave Y to end, then we would not even reach a third of the time that we used to create this wave A. So that's why I'm thinking that instead of having this as a sub-minuette structure, it's actually a micro, and only then we would have this as a WXY doing something like this. And that would be sub-minuette count, right? Hopefully that makes sense to you as well. But yeah, this is way more harder to look into and play. So that's probably the reason that I'm not really playing this at the moment. We can see that we did get beyond the 38.2 here for the X wave, so it is possible that this is going to be playing out. If we are placing the X here, we could be looking for a partner leg for this structure over here after whatever this is going to be finished, whether this is going to be a diagonal, or sorry, a triangle here, or some kind of a structure like this, we don't know. I think there was some structures about this on the Discord as well that I'm going to get back in just a moment as well on another count here. But that is the overall idea here for this count. A bit harder to track for sure, as this is going to be a three-way structure here. Next one was the bull count. Not seeing this playing out at all. The only way we could have this as a structure would be that we have this as a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into wave 1. Then this would have to be W, X, and Y, keeping out of these lows here. But again, not really likely because again, this W here looks so large in comparison. So yeah, not really focusing on that at all. Then we had Oil's count, at least he had this a few days ago, where he had this as an A, and then this whole structure would be a wave B, and then looking for that C wave to pump. The only issue that I have with this count is the proportions, where we have this as the A, B, and C. At the moment, according to this count, we would still be, I think, waiting for that possible fifth wave to come. It is possible that wave 5 was at these lows that we had, where I've labeled this W. We had this structure here as very much of a three-way structure. If you're looking at very low time frames, I think we can see it. Yeah, there we go. Zooming in. So we had this as a three-way structure. So that's why I'm not quite sure if it is a wave 5 or if it's a W, just because of the time element here. It was so rapid that it is possible that we have already finished it. If we are taking out this high, basically, then we can confirm that wave 5 was in here at the lows, and we would be continuing up. However, what goes against that count, or the idea, is that we would have to have impulsive wave count starting from these lows, and this definitely does not feel like it. This structure over here feels more like a three-way structure, something like this, rather than anything 5-wave-ish. Of course, it is possible we do have that divergence here where we could have this as a 1, 2, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this would be another third, fourth, and fifth. Of course, that is possible, but I prefer it as a three-way structure like so. But that is the count, one of the counts again. Depends, of course, on you, how you want to be playing these, and where you're going to be looking at this diagonal as well. There's so many different counts that are valid and pretty good looking as well at the moment that I'm not quite sure how and which one I'm going to be playing. The significant areas overall is this high over here around the 20k, and the significant low again around the 18k area. So once one of these pivot points, or one of these lines basically break, then we can be confirming one count more likely than the other, right? So we basically have to be a bit patient here. Now, Jonathan on Discord has had a count as well. I wanted to focus on that as well. But again, he had this as a wave 4, I believe, where he had the higher time frame as a impulse wave coming down from the 69k. I just recently made a video about this, was it yesterday or the day before, that why I did not really like the wave 4 being here. And I'm not going to be focusing on that at the moment, but he basically had the very exact same idea of having this as a wave or 5-way structure, but instead of having this as an A wave, he would have this as a wave 1 and 2. This would be, again, very much more bearish view. This would, however, fit the idea that we have on the S&P 500, on the very much bearish views on that, where we would be having 1 and 2s and coming down very fast next week. And I feel like this would fit very well into that idea. However, I don't just like the higher time frame wave 4 here, so maybe it would be best if we would be tracking the idea where we had that A wave here as a completed structure of something, but I'm not sure how that again would fit into the higher time frame. So on Jonathan's count, he had this structure again as that ABC, and whether wave 2 was here with that three-way structure or not, having this as a possibility as well, is possible that wave 2 again would be moved over here. But again, we'll see. We would have to apply that to when at least this high of 20k would be broken. Then we would have to move this wave 2 over a bit, and most likely a bit higher as well. But for that, we would have to see some kind of structure like this. And there's nothing really saying that can't happen, but yeah, it's just one of the other possibilities as well. I think he had a triangle over here. Let me see. I think he had it from here. I can't see it now. I can't see it. I think I mentioned it on Discord that it was invalid at least on the RSI, but I can't see the invalidation at the moment anymore. Now that I've covered all this, I can't remember where he had it here, unfortunately. But yeah, I think this is, again, overall one of the counts that should be definitely tracked, even though I don't prefer the wave 4 being here. It is of course possible, but yeah, if you want to hear the reasonings again, go watch the previous video. But again, this is not any kind of investing or any kind of trading strategy, or I don't have any trades at the moment going on here. I'm still short on Bitcoin on these very local time frames here, and we'll see how that turns out. Of course, we can just do this and then take out the liquidity and then again dump down. There's no reasons not to, but I wouldn't be too bullish either at these lows. We are so close to the previous lows, and the S&P 500 and the DXY are giving us signals that overall markets are going to dump somehow and some way. Whether it's going to be doing it with this count in mind or not, we'll see. But yeah, that is going to be very interesting. I wouldn't be too keen on taking longs here at all. I would be preferring short positions in any case, even if it is just on these local time frames. But those are things that I am looking out for at the moment. If you made it this far into the video, I would appreciate the likes. Link to our free Discord server in the description below, and for now thank you for watching and hope you have an amazing rest of the day. See you next video, bye bye.